I mean, it's so let me ask you this, kind of flip it. With you being an Alabama fan, you cover the team. What is your opinion on like the people call them super conferences, with the Big Ten getting to 18 teams, the SEC is adding teams every year. What are your thoughts on it? Are you impartial? Do you want it to go back to smaller? What do you think?
You know, I've been thinking about this because, I mean, on the one hand, I like seeing 18 teams in Big Ten, 16 to SEC. But on the other hand, I kind of want it to be like we go back to the Southwest Conference. We go back to the Big Eight. We go back, and I'll do one even better. We put Penn State in the same conference with Pittsburgh, West Virginia, and those schools. Because, I mean, how has the Gen Z generation not know about Penn State, Pittsburgh? Which, I mean, I get it. Like, they only know about 2016 through 2019. But it's
Sure.
like, it's just a shame that people don't know about that rivalry. Or like Florida, Miami. Nobody knows about Florida, Miami that much. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just like, I really dislike the fact that there's been so many rivalries that not a lot of people know about. It's just a crying shame.
Yeah, I with this one, I'm on both sides of the fence because I see the benefit of both sides, right? Because with you look at Texas joining the SEC, now
Yeah.
they and Texas A&M can play. You look at the even playing field now that Georgia isn't in the SEC East, now they have to have a tough regular season schedule. It can't just be all right. Well, the hardest team that we play this year is Florida in the Swamp. Outside of that, we're playing Vandy and we're playing, Kentucky and so now they have a tough regular season schedule and they performed well in it this year, right? Like there's a reason why they went on to win the SEC but yeah, but then on the flip side, I think it's also tough to gauge how good some teams are. Like in the Big Ten, you have 18 teams. There's no way that you can even play close to half. You know what I mean? Or you can play about half, but it kind of
Yeah.
depends on what those halves are. You look at a team like Indiana, the first ranked team that they played all year, Ohio State beat them 38-15. You know, I mean, when you have a conference with 18 teams, it's tough. I think I talked about it back when Notre Dame and Indiana were getting ready to play, but I think they played like 8 teams with a losing record this
Yeah.
year. And so I think when the conferences get that big, it's just tough to schedule the way that you need to because Indiana, they didn't play in the regular season. I mean, they didn't play Oregon, they didn't play USC, they didn't play Wisconsin, they didn't play Nebraska, or they did play Nebraska, sorry. They dominated Nebraska. It was like 56-7.
56-7 on Big
Yeah.
Noon kickoff.
Yep, I forgot about that. But
All right.
they go through and they didn't play a lot of these better Big Ten teams. So I think it's tough to gauge who is really the best in those conferences. You know what I mean? So for me, I'm on both sides of the fence. I just didn't know what your thoughts were on it, man.
I just wish the SEC and Big 12 could trade teams. Like, say, the SEC trades Missouri to the Big 12, and in return, the SEC gets Oklahoma State. So this way, the Bedlam rivalry comes back on an
Yeah.
annual basis, and Missouri Kansas comes back on an annual basis.
Yeah. No, that would be cool. The going away from rivalries and stuff. The one new trend that I've been hearing is now people are now, mind you, this is not meant to be a shot. This is just something that I had heard in one of our chats. Was that according to some Ohio State fans, rivalries don't matter anymore. Now it's what happens in the postseason. It's like, okay, well, now rivalries seem to matter a whole heck of a lot when you were 14-0 and 14 years against Michigan. And now that you're 0-4 in the last 4 years, now they don't matter. I think that's a little bit of interesting timing. We'll leave
Yeah.
it at that. But yeah, I love college football rivalries, man. I think that's what makes it so great.
Yeah. I mean, like without Alabama, Auburn, Notre Dame, USC, Ohio State, Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas Tech, A&M, and a few other rivalries, it would suck.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be like it would kind of be like the NFL, where it's like the rivalries are like divisional, But like even that, I mean, I went to the Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens game this year that went into overtime, and I mean, it was Joe Burrow, it was Lamar Jackson. Game goes into overtime, dude. People were getting up and leaving in the middle of the third quarter so they didn't have to sit in traffic. Like You're going to tell me that happens at the Iron Bowl? You're going to tell me that happens at Notre Dame, USC, or at Ohio State, Michigan? No. And so, yeah, I think rivalries are what makes college football great.